To ask the Scottish Government what its position is on the costs of international flights from Glasgow compared with those from London.
Stewart Stevenson.
The cost of international flights from Glasgow compared to those from London are driven by a combination of competitive pressure and demand.
Stewart Maxwell.
Can I thank the Minister for that answer? The Minister may be aware of the research I undertook recently which showed that a family of 4 flying from Glasgow to Florida this summer will pay £1,000 more than a family flying from London, despite the return flight from London taking an hour longer than the Glasgow flight. The travel companies have stated that the reason for the extra cost from Glasgow is the greater loads per plane that travel from London when compared to Glasgow. Does the Minister agree with me that if it was £1,000 cheaper to fly from Glasgow than from London, then the load figures would be the exact opposite of what they are now, and that perhaps the fact that it's £1,000 cheaper to fly from London skews the load figures and causes Scottish families to travel to London to get their holiday flight? Can I urge the Minister to stand up for Scottish families and ask him what he will do to tackle this situation and stop my constituents in the west of Scotland and all Scottish travellers from being ripped off by some travel companies?
Minister.
The member makes a range of very interesting and valid points. I have certainly recently met the Managing Director of Glasgow Airport. I can assure the member and others that she is working very hard to gain additional services and is using pricing as part of the mechanism to do that. I have also met with business interests who are looking to develop a Scottish-based airline, because one of the key issues is that airlines find it easier to provide cheap, cost-effective services from their home base, and we are at a significant disadvantage in that regard. We will continue to work with the interests who are working to deliver an airline for Scotland.
Charlie Gordon.
Does the Minister agree that one way that Mr Maxwell's concerns could be assuaged would be by developing additional direct international flights serving Scottish airports, which could be achieved by reinstating an amended version of the Air Route Development Fund as long sought by Labour and as supported by the CBI this week in its manifesto?
Minister.
The member will be aware of the rules governing the use of air route development. We cannot support routes to catchment areas of more than 5 million. However, the European Union is looking once again at the rules. We are optimistic that the controlling regime that would enable the reintroduction of a scheme of some kind to support airlines is certainly something we will watch and respond to.